Hello and welcome to day 5 of Agile World. And we've got today our two wonderful colleagues. We've got Sath and we've got Anurag with us.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
I'll let
See you all.
Karl ridicule me the fact that yet again I'm disappearing into my background and we haven't sorted that out yet.
You're wasting away.
I'm wasting away. Well, it's okay. So tonight we've got more of a male crew for Karl's benefit, because he's been moaning in the background offline about the fact that, us women have been taking over. So,
well, I can't do anything about that. I think it's been going on for about the last 30 years, and I'm okay with that. Guys have had their turn for the last, I don't know, thousands of years, and it's time for the women.
You hear? True. Well said, that man.
Yeah, he knows where he stands on that one. So, right, we're going to start with you, Anurag. How's it been going this week?
So I think awesome. So it started with the opening ceremony. I was having a discussion with Scott earlier in the previous week, and I just mentioned to him that what if we don't have many people in the opening ceremony? If we have done so much to bring it together, and then we have like all of us have been working there for months, and then if we have only a few people joining us, what will happen? I really like the way Yusuf and Scott mentioned that we should not be worried about that because we have put in our effort. We have brought people together. If a few people join, even if 50 of us join, I think we are good. And and I was really surprised and I was really proud when I saw those 200 plus people in the call, and it really kicked it off like for all of us. And then I think since then it has been wonderful.
It's been a whirlwind this week.
Yeah,
it's been absolutely amazing. You've been to quite a few events, haven't you?
yeah, I was there in an event just I think 3 hours back. It was on personal agility. So yeah, I have attended quite a few now, and the patrons one really nice, which Sathpal he did it, and then the one which I just attended. So it was all around how you can improve yourself, from doing agile to being agile. So and then not just in your work, but in the different field of areas that you connect to, like the host in that event. So they mentioned that the children are running the Kanban boards at their home. So I was really surprised and I was really happy to know that. And that is how you can bring agility into all the different phases of your life. Scott's wife, she is going to host another event which is more around agility on the personal space. So I think we are having so many different kinds of events in this festival. That is really great.
Love it. How's your week been then so far, Sath?
How's my week been? Can you ask an easier question than that?
I salute you. I salute you, Sath.
It's yeah. To Anurag's point, it's been phenomenal, to be honest. I mean, So what's it? Friday. So yeah, since Sunday, including the opening ceremony, we all had little parts to play in that wonderful opening ceremony. I've hosted 5 events.
Wow.
So I don't quite know what happened to the week, but it's just been phenomenal. I mean, the patrons was always going to be one of those kind of extravaganzas, hosting 13 people of their kind of standing together. I've done many events, hosted panels, hosted people, co-hosts, etc. But not 13 people. So I just did not know how it was going to go. But it kind of was just one of those. It was a great extension of the opening ceremony, and then there was the panel, the panel with Lisa Atkins, and Johanna Rothman, Tobias Mayer. That seemed to go down really well, and the Origins one last night was lovely because it was people's personal accounts, their own journeys, and I really liked that because I kind of tried to create a little story out of it, but again, I didn't know how it was going to go.
And obviously,
again, to be honest, the feedback
from my side,
really
there's
good,
no angst that you managed to clash it with mine at all. And if you see a ninja at the door, just ignore them. I've dispatched the agile ninjas to resolve this.
Can I just say for the record, for the avoidance of any doubt, the event on the Wednesday, panel event was the first event in the program, my friend. So
know,
I'm sorry. I'm thinking who clashed with who. Sorry. Do you want to try that one again?
Actually, it's to be truthful, it's actually my own fault because I put the event in and then realised I couldn't do it, so I asked Seth to do it.
Oh, the Origins one. Yeah, the Origins. Yeah. No, I said that. I said I'd inherited it. I said I inherited it from Karl, and then went about sourcing speakers that would play to my vision for it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I popped into that one last night. I was actually, do you know what was really good? I was actually cooking in the background while listening in, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. Was the only thing I wanted to ask, was there any downloads that you could get from it? Was it just a recorded?
When you say downloads?
So there was actually one session, I went to the Agile metrics one as well, and he actually had a download of the actual PowerPoint, which was quite smart. If you go on to the actual meetup, you could actually download his PowerPoint. He's done it for all of his. And I just wonder if they had anything like that on there, because I didn't get a chance to look back. But really, really good. Really enjoyed it. And I had to come off of it just before the end, and I really didn't want to. So I'm quite excited to be able to see the actual recording as well.
Yeah, no, I've got it. We'll get it out there. They're wonderful personal accounts. It's great. It's really nice listening to them.
So
that's excellent. So that's probably a good point to mention the archiving.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I've done a huge test and learn to see that it will work by uploading onto YouTube. But I just want to make it clear to people that we aren't looking for a single location for the archive. We want to put it in multiple locations across the world, because I know that some countries have difficulty accessing American digital products from time to time. So if you've got a local location that makes sense that we can put it in, and people won't be charged to access it, we'd love to know. So places where people in Russia can easily access the content, places where people in Southeast Asia and Asia can access. That's really important, because you know what it is. We're doing all of this material and creating all this material to create a point in time, just like the happened with the signing of the manifesto. There's a point in time, and people need to be able to look back and see where it was, and see where they've gone, where they've come from, and what they've now got into. So let us know. There's now, just put in Agile20Reflect archive online, and you'll find a link. There's links all over the place now. I spent about 4 hours putting them in the interweb last night.
Nice.
You've got a very, very late night. But if anyone who's watching this has got any ideas, just drop us a message on the link below, and we'll feed that back into the team. That will be really helpful.
Yeah. Or you can join the team.
Yeah.
We're looking for
So tell us about your week, Sabrina. Then we haven't heard from you. Come on.
Other than doing this, I've had an opportunity. There was a couple of events I wanted to go to. I went to Karl's because I heard everyone was going to SAFs, and I've got to support my partner in crime, and that was really.
Honestly, you are making me feel really bad about this.
That's why we brought you on the show.
It's terrible.
It's not your fault, Seth. It's a projection.
I know it's not my fault.
I really did enjoy it. It was nice to actually get an opportunity to go to that, the Agile Matrix one. That was really, really interesting. It was the questions I actually enjoyed. So it was everybody that was actually watching and getting involved. And I enjoyed that. The other ones I've been to, I've just kind of sat in the background and doing it, but I'm loving it. But I am interested to see, is there any particular ones you two are going to on Saturday?
On Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I need a day
3
off.
p.m.
Yeah. Oh, which one, Anurag, are you going at 3 p.m.? Is there a particular one you're going to?
Yeah, I think there's somebody in this picture who is hosting it, isn't it?
I really had no idea where this was going.
Wow, subtle.
I have to say, right, it is amazing that you guys are doing that session, because it will speak to so many, and it's brilliant that you're surfacing this stuff. And because I think that's what I've really seen come throughout the week is, the humanity in these things. The vibe is great. I've had a lot of kind of feedback from people directly. And I think with the backdrop of the pandemic, I think it is really helping us all. I mean, it is, it's giving us something to look forward to. I mean, I was looking at my calendar before I jumped on with all the stuff that I've got next week, and crikey, it's packed.
Yeah,
it is.
I think if we look back at this, I actually said it when I did the post about archiving. If we look back at this in 5 years' time, we're going to be able to say, look what we did while the world was falling apart. And I was working on a government project at the beginning of this year. It was the only Agile project that they were doing. So I won't say which government it was, but it was the only true Agile piece of work they were doing anywhere in the government. It's the only piece of work that didn't stop working or didn't slow down and delivered in time, because it was built to adapt. It was built to respond to change and to conflict and to difficulties. While everyone else, and I know a lot of the projects had to be put on the back burner because the people were needed to go into emergency response. But still, we lost, I think, 40% of all of the senior people straight into emergency response, because that's what civil servants do. But we still delivered.
That's just how amazing it actually is. And Karl, you butted in. I'm trying to plug in our event here.
Sorry.
we never noticed. We never noticed.
Yeah, she's so subtle.
So okay, I will just plug this, right? So we're doing with Scott, our chief pirate, and myself, Karl, are doing an event tomorrow, which is why are so many Agile coaches dyslexic. It's something that's very passionate to us. So please come and join us. It's going to be fun and no slides. We've decided we're not going to do slides, not just because we're dyslexic, but we're not going to do slides. It's all going to be us and everybody.
And just to say, in the planning, someone mentioned a book giveaway, and I said, "Isn't that kind of cruel?" Give a video away, don't give a book away. I mean, they are evil things anyway.
Long week. But have you guys got any particular events that you're going? I've done my plug. Thank you, Anurag, for biting for that. But but have you guys, Anurag, have you got any particular ones that you're looking forward to going to?
Before that, I'll just like to add to what Karl just said. So when we are doing the post on the website, so we have this thing called alt text. So some of the speakers or some of the people who are looking to do their events on the website, they would ask me, what is the alt text? What is the significance of alt text? So that is what it is all about. So there are so many things. There are so many people who are different in this world, but then we don't realize that there are so many different people in the world, and that is something which we need to acknowledge, and that is what I explained to them, why we need that alt text and why it is a regulation in the EU. So it is not there something which is very common outside EU, I'll say, but yeah, that is why it is a regulation. So I'll actually connect to what Karl just said, that this is something which is going to be going to be shared by everybody, and then we'll know and we'll talk more about it.
Yeah,
100%.
Cool.
So what events have you got?
Yeah, so I've got a few. Yeah, I've got a few next week, but I think they'll I'm really struggling to join them. So there was one which I really wanted to join. It was at 4 a.m. in the morning, my time, so Indian time, and that was all about the start of Child Manifesto, like why it was signed. I think there are two more events on the same topic which are there this week, which I'm looking forward to joining. So I think there's one by Peter Lamb, and then there's another one, so by, I think it is by Scrum Alliance. Those two I'm definitely looking to join, because
it's like you're normally up at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, so that's not a problem, mate. That's when we get your WhatsApp messages.
No, actually, that was a special day. So that was I think the day you are talking about. So that was the opening ceremony day, and then I'm not really well on that night. So I got up, saw the messages. There are so many messages actually, and that is also something which is now so common. So when I get up in the morning, so many messages in those WhatsApp groups. So yeah, I think that was the reason. But yeah, I really wanted to join that, but the other reason was that there are two more similar events which are happening, so I just thought that okay, I'll join them maybe.
We were talking about that the other night, that there's so many amazing events. We've now got the problem that we never thought we'd have, where we're having to pick and choose and almost flip a coin, like the situation between Sath and Karl. You're almost having to flip a coin.
I want my double-headed coin back, please.
Which one? Which one? And in my head, I'm like, which one do I go to? I want to go to this one. I want to go to that one. And then I'd still have the relief that at least it's going to archive. But then you still want to be in the moment and you still want to be there. But then it's not a bad decision and it's not a bad situation to be in, that you've got so many amazing events that you're struggling to decide on which event to actually go on.
So the terrible thing is I wanted to go to Sath's event as well.
Well, I was going to say, I have written it down in my little black book that Sabrina opted for yours rather than mine. Just so she knows.
What I've got with Karl at the moment is very similar to a marriage. I don't want to offend him.
But you were happy to offend me, yeah? That's good to know. It's good to know.
Oh no! How did this turn out? I'm going to hide behind my background.
Well, she is gone. Right, let's talk about Sabrina now. She's gone.
Right, Sath, what have you got going on?
So next week I'm quite excited in that I have no events to host. The following weeks, the weeks after that, I've got tons, but next week none. So I've lined up lots of ones that I'm going to attend and one that I'm speaking at. So there's a good one I'm really excited about on Tuesday, which is about the Agile fluency model, which is with Diane Larson. So I don't know Diane, but Diane co-authored the Agile Retrospectives book with Esther Derby. So I'm going to join that one. And then Wednesday, Scott and I are talking together on none other than imposter syndrome. So that's Wednesday. And then later that same evening, I'm joining an event with Jim Highsmith. So that'll be cool. So another of the original co-authors of the manifesto. And then Friday, we've got the big Futurespective event with Giles. So that's going to be pretty awesome. That's on Friday. So that's like 5 till 8. It's like 3 hours. So many amazing speakers.
I spoke to a work colleague today about the Agile20Reflect Festival, and he was telling me how he's grabbed the manifesto and he's almost trying to tick off as many to go and actually go to as many events hosted by as many of those people as possible who actually were the original creators. And I thought, that's an amazing idea.
They're not all involved though.
I know they're not, but at least if you can tick some off and at least physically like be able to see there and be in their presence. I thought it was a good idea.
So next week, I have to admit, I am looking forward to going to Snowbird, if that's what it's called. I always get these things wrong. So that they're recreating it through the Agile Alliance and going to just have a massive meetup. So that's one I really want to go to because I missed the first one because I'd never even heard of Agile in 2001. It was 2003 before I even heard of it and got into it.
Yeah, that is what I'm also going to.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm fascinated how they're going to manage it because, a large room of people involved in Agile. It's what's the collective noun for a group of Agilists, and I used to call it an argument.
Facilitation.
Is it? Well, it's now a conversation of a community.
Constructive debate, surely.
Yes. Okay. But it should be interesting to see. I also want to go to some of the Be Agile events because they're about mindsets. I think they're really interesting. And then Craig Coburn is doing visualize and iterate your roadmaps event on Monday, which is using strategy for Agile, which is really interesting. So there's quite a few. And like Sath, next week I'm not hosting anything. I don't know how I managed to avoid that, but that's great.
It's good, isn't it?
It is. So I'm gonna be a festival goer next week, which is going to be fun.
Same.
I'm finding every morning and every evening I'm checking the calendar because so many new ones. Can we remember what the numbers are now? We hit over 700 the other day.
I think it's 719. I think there's been a bit of a conversation because when you start getting them late in the day, sometimes the quality drops. But at the same time, so one of the Agile metrics ones that was on early that was oversubscribed. I spoke to the guy that ran it, asked him to run it again.
Yeah.
So that's Yuri's one. So I helped Yuri out with one earlier in the week. Yeah, so he's got a chunk of. So that's the one you were talking about, Sabrina.
Yeah, so the one I came to, there was some technical issues, and it wasn't his fault really, but there was some technical issues. Some people couldn't actually get in. He was trying to let everybody in. So if he wants any help with facilitation, he can give me a shout or give one of the guys a shout.
It's no, I'm doing a bunch of them with him. Yeah.
Good, but yeah, no, it was really, really good, and I think it's actually worthwhile doing it again because there was a lot of people that actually did want to go to it, and I think there was a lot of clashes with others. So some of these, especially when they've been so popular, I think we should be doing them again.
Definitely. Yeah, I think the other thing is we need to be clear about time zones as well, because a lot of people get confused about when it was starting. And because it wasn't immediately available, they thought it's the imposter syndrome thing. You go to something and it's not where you think it is. You think, well, what have I done wrong? And you internalize. So a lot of people are going, I've turned up and it's not here. I'll leave a comment and then I'll go away, and then it starts and you missed it. So that's quite common with human. Being a human is a real problem here. We need to sort of get rid of that one. Be less human, everyone.
No, couldn't handle robotic Karl. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it's worth a go.
Automated Karl.
Yeah, I think that would be quite terrifying for everyone. So Sabrina,
it should actually be automated Karl because he has automated so many things. All the posts have been automated.
Yeah, I think my wife might like that one because then she could push a button and I just go straight into the cupboard and I wouldn't bother her anymore. Sabrina, what are you looking forward to? Have you got anything in your sights for next week?
Do you know what? I keep looking at the calendar every single morning to have a look at stuff. And a couple of the ones that you've mentioned, I'm interested in going to. And I'm just reminding myself now. There's one which is customer journey and customer research that looks quite interesting. But I'm really interested in the behavior stuff as well. And what was the other one? I'm just trying to remember the names.
That's some title.
I want to be able to go to the heart of Agile. So the
that takes up so much space.
So that we lost you now, Karl. You still here? You've gone slow.
He's there, but I think he's having a few connectivity issues.
So, and there's, what's the other one? Oh, goodness, why does my voice in my head? So that's the imposter syndrome as well. There's just so many. I need to update my calendar.
That's my one.
I know what? Yeah, I could go to yours.
She plugged my event. There you go.
That's the whole point of this. But yeah, there's so many. I got to relook tomorrow as well. There's a couple I want to go
to be honest, it's back to what Anurag was saying earlier, that there is so much stuff and you just can't get to everything. Scott and I had this conversation when it really started to kind of build up. I tried to join the one I think you promoted earlier, Anurag. Yeah. The personal agility one. I wanted to go to that. I signed up for it, but then I couldn't get off. I couldn't get away from work. So I got really, I was frustrated because I couldn't physically join the call. So yeah, not going to get to everything, guys. We're not going to get.
I think it is happening once more. So I think she mentioned that it will be happening next week as well. I think it is on the same day. I'll check with her.
I'll give you a laugh. So I joined the mindfulness one earlier with our friends at Dandy People. But again, I was also working. It was 30 minutes, and it was beautiful. But I totally failed to do what was expected. I just wasn't present enough. It was one of those ones. I joined it. I was desperate to join it. I did, but then I didn't really kind of honor what the session was about. And when I came off it, I just thought, God, I was really frustrated with myself.
I joined one earlier in the week that was in Spanish. And I don't speak Spanish, but I worked out what they were trying to do and I participated where I could. And then I dropped off because I had some business call. I think I speak a bit of Esperanto, but it's not the same as Spanish and understanding the depth of a technical version around Agile, but it was still interesting what was shared. And I managed to gazump Scott into going because he was was just saying to him, I said, "Are you going to the meeting?" I put the link in, and he went straight into this event.
Oh, good old Scott.
And so for next week, we're going to get Lenore Brakeman to come on. She was this lady that came up with this great quote about Agile. In case you guys missed it, what she said was, "I think Agile exists the way clouds exist, always in change, always in motion, formed by the environment around." I just thought it was really nice.
Brilliant.
It is lovely. So it's on the post I put up, because I mentioned it last night as well. But so she's going to come on. She's actually looking for a job, so if anyone's got a job. She's based in Bremen in Germany, and we're going to get the guys from South America to come on next week as well, and hopefully get some of the teams from Africa to come on as well.
Nice.
What we haven't got is I've got one person in the pipeline who's actually a participant. They will be the first unless we get any more. So somebody who's actually not part of Agile20Reflect, but has also been a participant in some of the actual events as well. So that'd be quite
if they're a participant, they're part of Agile20Reflect.
very true.
Yeah.
Very good way of putting it. Very true.
Just part of the much bigger team. I think that's this teams of teams of teams. So it's a great opportunity, and we want to hear from people.
And you've got a badge for them as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember.
And I'm looking forward to proudly wearing my attendee badge next week.
Yeah, I've got a new accoutrement. So Agile Worlds at the Agile20Reflect Festival. Some guy at the end of the road was giving them out. This must be a job lot. He had Davos t-shirts last week, but obviously no one wanted them either. So
can I just know I don't have one.
Yeah, well, you know.
He's obviously not sharing the love. He's just
Well, you know,
he's gone rogue. He's gone rogue.
Well,
off piste.
If you decide to get one for me, I'll have a hoodie in large, please. I like them baggy.
Wow, subtle.
In white, it might help me with my background problem. Instead of me disappearing. Righty then. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. Hopefully you'll be able to join again next week. And thank you for your time.
Yay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good stuff, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good
Have
night.
fun.
Bye.
Have fun.
Bye.